Hey guys, we're going to learn how to do some styrofoam printmaking today. So keep your eyes on all the details, and if you have questions, make sure you jot them down so that you can ask them after you watch the video. Okay, remember this is just our background. We're going to be doing a whole different kind of printmaking for our Egyptian character. Okay guys, so today I'm going to show you about doing your styrofoam prints for your Egypt project. I have a couple examples here that you can see. So on these, everything in red is the color of the paper, and that's the things that were traced with the pen. You can also, if you choose, do a two-color print like this, where you have two colors on each section, and I'm going to show you how to do that today. So these are some student examples that did theirs already. So you should have already drawn your design on paper and then put it on top of your styrofoam and traced it with a pen. And you can see I traced mine so hard in some spaces, the paper actually tore. I'm missing this piece completely. And that's okay because this is just trash now. I did color in some areas with Sharpie and make my lines thicker after I drew it, just to make the tracing process easier. If you're doing a hieroglyph and you want it to print correctly, you're actually going to have to invert your design when you trace it on the styrofoam so that it prints correctly. But mine was symmetrical on both sides, so it didn't matter which way I traced it onto my styrofoam. Alright, so here is my styrofoam. After I traced it on the paper, I came back in with my pen and thickened some of my lines and then colored in those shapes so that I could have some parts that had thicker lines or where the paper would show through. And you can see I actually changed my mind. I didn't color in these circles. If I print it one time and I decide I want them colored in, I can always do that for the next print, because I'm going to make at least 3 prints. If I want to be extra careful, I can make 5, or I can just keep my styrofoam in case later I decide I want to make extra prints. To set up my space, I'm going to cover my area with newspaper. Okay. I am also going to want to get my printing tray for my ink, my roller, my burnisher, and my ink. So here's my paper. I'm putting it to the side where it won't get dirty. And then I'm going to add on one side of my tray my first color of ink. And on my other side, I'm going to add my turquoise, which is my second color. Now, the first one was a tube, so I just squeezed it, but this is a jar, so I'm going to need a palette knife. And I am going to put some on here. Okay. Now, another thing that is really helpful is the extender. Okay. And that's just this. It's actually clear, see, transparent. And it's going to make this a little bit smoother, blend together, and make it easier to roll. So with a clean palette knife, because otherwise you'll get messy inside the jar, you're going to put the extender in between these two colors. If you're just doing one color, you can just put the extender in the one color. Make sure I close all my jars. I don't want them to dry out. And now I'm taking my roller, and normally I tell you guys roll all around, get the whole thing inked, but because I'm doing these two colors, I'm only going to go in a back and forth motion, and I'm going to just kind of blend it this way so you can see it turning a paler color in the middle. Okay, once I have that on my roller, you can see that nice blending of colors that's happening there. I am now going to roll it on, and I'm going to actually roll it this way. Okay. And you can see this edge stays completely turquoise, that edge stays completely white, and in the middle it's hopefully blending together. Now that I have that, I'm going to move that to the side a little bit. The other good thing about the extender is if I'm moving this stuff around, it keeps it from drying too quickly, so I have time to get everything set up. Okay. I'm going to take this and I'm going to line it up with my top corner. Okay. My design is horizontal, but this paper still needs to be vertical. So you're going to print whichever way makes the top of your styrofoam at the top. I can rub this with my hands, or I can use the burnisher here. Now if I use this, I want to make sure I hold my styrofoam down with my hands because I don't want it to move and smudge while I'm doing this. Okay. And then I can lift this up. And there's my print. And you can see I did smudge just a tiny bit. Oh, that's okay. See this nice blending of colors. So let me show you again how you're going to move on. We want to re-ink every time. So I am, put that in the frame for you. I am inking again and getting that nice blending of colors in the middle. Take my paper. I'm going to align this up. Push down. I can use this if I want. Try not to rub too hard. You don't want it to move. And hold it down with your fingers. Use your hands, push and rub. Just don't let the styrofoam move. And lift it up. Now, if I had more space, I would continue even if it went slightly off the page because I want it to go from edge to edge. Okay? Now, you can continue to line this up each time, or you could do it like bricks where they're off center. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. The ones that I showed you here, you can see they lined up each time. So the bottom ones are directly underneath the top ones. Okay, so see that one lines up perfectly. This next one lines up perfectly. But I'm going to show you a different alternative. If I want to print them like a brick pattern, now instead of lining it up directly, I'm going to put it centered. In between the two. Okay, so now I'm going to print here and here on my next time. Okay, so let me just show you one more how that's going to look if I'm going off the page. So now you can see I'm going to be going off the page a little bit. That's okay, that's one of the reasons I have newspaper. I'm going to try it with my hands. Let's see if I can get it as good. That's pretty good. Okay, and then if I had rubbed all the ink off, I mean I did some, I'm going to see if I can go ahead and get this print done without having to re-ink. There we go. Okay, and so this next one will line up again like this, where I have 2 and then 3, until I fill the whole paper. When the whole paper is finished, I'm going to do at least 2 more. Remember, you want at least 3, but you can do as many as 5. And if you don't want to do 5 now, you can always save your styrofoam in case you need extras later.